what to say. This is Guts and Guitars, and today we are shaping a neck.
Okay, so we got our taper, we got our mark where our nut's going to be. We have the board centered on the neck blank itself. The fingerboard is centered on the neck. And we have our line at our 12th fret where I want it to be, and we have our line where our nut is. So I've got everything where I want it to be, so I'm going to clamp it just to keep it from moving on me. And then I'm going to score a line, and I'm just going to double check again. So we got 3, 5, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're good. So now I'm going to mark all the way down the board on both sides. And then that is going to get us our line to cut on. And then the headstock, I'm just going to freehand around to make everything line up here. And all of this is going to be cut oversized so I can, finish it up by hand. One of the other things I need to do is, and I forgot to get this out, so y'all bear with me. I have a template that I use for my heel, and this is going to go like so. And again, this is just a rough guideline. And so I will cut down here, not cut, mark. And then that lets me know here in a little while when I get ready to do this procedure, I want to take some of this meat off so I can cut this tenon that's going to go in there. And so that way I know how much I can cut off. So now we're going to take this over to the bandsaw and we're going to rough cut it and see what we can do. Alright, so now we have our rough shape of the neck, and the fretboard will go on like so. So the next step we need to do at this point is we got to clean up this edge, true it up. There's two ways of doing it. One way is we can go in with some files and planes and match it up. We can also wait until the fretboard is fretted and glued on, and then we can use a router bit with a bearing and use the edge of the fretboard to run the bearing on, and then that will clear out this first section, and then you just work your way down, and then that'll give us a 90-degree to start working the back of the neck and getting that and all this stuff done. So I'm going to decide which way I'm going to do it, and then we'll get back with you. And I forgot about option number 3, and that's what we're going to use. Alright, so I was over at the bandsaw. I got this cut out here. Make sure y'all can... yeah. I got this cut out right here. I need to clean those up on here. I also cut the thickness of the headstock on the backside. And then I rough cut the taper into the neck. So now we're going to clean all this up. And then we're probably going to be done with the neck at this point. Because I got some stuff I need to do to the fingerboard, so we'll go ahead and get this cleaned up and see where we're at from there. Alright, we are going to shape a neck. There's tons of ways of doing this. Some people use CNC machines. Some people use file scrapers, routers. I've done them all. This one I'm going to do with some files to start off with, spoke shave, and then we'll probably finish up with some sandpaper, blah, blah, blah. So I laid out a center line by measuring several points in the neck and splitting that distance, and then that gives me a center line. And then I took my finger and I split half the distance, and these lines are already on here, but they're hard to see for y'all, I'm sure. And then I split half that distance again. So now I have this divided up into 1, 2, 3, 4, so 8 sections across the neck, 4 on each side. And then I also did half the distance on the side of the neck, and I did half the distance of that again. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take out this section right here from this line to this line, and I'm going to do that on both sides, and then I'm going to do that again, and then that's going to give me a kind of octagonal, I guess, segmented, and then I'll use a spoke shave to file that down even smoother. So let me grab my gloves and we'll get going. For this operation, I will be using this Shinto. It's made in Japan. It's kind of like a rasp and a file all together. It's got a pretty jagged, nasty side and a pretty smooth side, so we're going to be using that. We're also going to be using razor files. These I got at StuMac. These are awesome files. I like them. They you can either just get real light, or you can bear down and really remove some material. So that's what we're going to be working with. And then at some point, depending on how things go, we will be using this, which is a spoke shave. And you pull it, actually once you get it set up, because this one the blade is not even exposed because I don't want to cut myself. So we'll get it set up and we'll use it. Now this camera is probably going to wobble like crazy because I have a raised wood floor in my shop to ease my knees. So hopefully it's not too bad. And just that fast, that corner is knocked off. So that's got both those edges. Now we're going to take it down to here. What makes a neck feel fat is actually the shoulder right here where the fretboard attaches. You can round this off all you want, but if it's got a lot of meat left right through here, it's still going to feel like a thick neck this way when it's really not. So this neck section may take a little bit longer, but Alrighty, so now we're good. It doesn't take a lot with this to get where you want to be. And then we'll fine tune with files. This is really just to remove a lot of material in a hurry. All right.
We got some big spots right through there. Now I'm not going to go all the way down to the edge because I still got to glue the fingerboard on. I still need to do the cut the tenon in the heel and the shape the heel. But at this point we are very close, and it didn't take very long at all. So another thing that we can do is a block of 2 pieces of 3/4 inch plywood. We glue together. It's got some 80 grit paper on it, and even though I'm going across the grain, it's going to follow and tell me if I got right there and right there they're high and this is low. And so I need to take out more here and more here to get down to this. And now remember, I took that measurement. That way I know if I need to stop, because I don't want to get that too thin right there where that is. I can also use this. Put this up in here. I'm going to get the lowest point. Yeah, we're fine. 1/4 inch. I'm taking them down to an 8. Now, this is going to end up getting rounded in more right through there. And then I've got a jig that I put back here that will thickness this down to my final thickness and put that radius right there. So, not too worried about that. You know, the human hand can feel subtle differences. And I'm still a little thick right through here. Back down here it feels pretty good, so I need to bring this down some more right through here. Feel a low spot there, even with a file. Alright, now it's time to move to some less aggressive files and sandpaper. So I'm going to go get some 80 grit real quick, and then we're going to go over this. One of the things I'll do, I just hold it in my hand like that, and that way it kind of conforms to the human hand, at least my hand. And then we're going to check some measurements to see if we got any dips. I can feel right there. A lot of this is just by feel. And the sound, you can tell when that file is
Alright, so it should steadily get bigger or smaller which way I'm going, and it shouldn't go back up. Alright. Now, this right through here, the center line, I'm not going to take any more off of that other than just sanding to get a couple of nicks out of it. Now once I get the fretboard on, these shoulders will get pulled in a little bit more, but right now it's shaped, so everything is just going to be very minute corrections to get it how I want. So now we need to do this up here. So I will